YouTube, listen up, listen up. Today in this video, I did a taper. Jarrell, be quiet.
For the Boston, his first game.
Thank you. Today I did a burst taper transformation, cut his whole head off, just everything. His whole head just came off. He looked like a totally different person. Did a little burst taper and yeah. So stay tuned. What you say? Nothing? Now to start this haircut off, I'm gonna start with my 4-guard open going against the grain. Now I'm using the Wall cordless seniors. These clippers right here have a lot of power, but you guys can use clippers like the BGRCs or any detachable blade clipper will actually work. I'm just using this because I'm familiar with this clipper. I like using the Wall seniors, and you know, it's a powerful cordless clipper. So to start this burst taper off, I'm going to use my Endless Slimline Pro LIs to set in my bald line. When I do this bald line, I'm setting it in a triangle-like shape. I'm going to even round it off at the top just a little bit, just to give it that more burst effect, that oval kind of shape. So don't be afraid to really just round it off at the top. You don't have to leave it so pointy. Using the Babyless Red FX with the lever open, I'm going to go up about a ½ inch, making sure I use my corners as much as possible, going around that shape that I set to put in the bald line, and making sure I keep it as consistent as possible. You want to make sure that everything is real neat. Now, same thing with the 1-guard open. I'm going up about a ½ inch, using my corners as much as possible in areas where I don't want to take off certain hairs on the other side of the blade. So I'm just going up using my corners, keeping it consistent, making sure everything looks neat. Now with the 2-guard open, I'm not necessarily going up a certain amount. I'm just trying to knock off that bulk at the top, trying to get everything to blend in as much as possible, and still utilizing my corners. So I normally don't use a 3-guard. I always stop at a 2 and do some clipper over combing, but being that he has a 4 on top, it doesn't hurt to go ahead and slap on the 3-guard just so it could really blend into that 4. Now dropping down to the 0-guard close in a flick out motion, I'm flicking out that middle line. Now this is different motion as far as setting in your guideline versus taking out the guidelines. And when you take out the guidelines, you want to start from the bottom, flick to the line. Now it's a totally different motion, as you guys can see. Now this is kind of the tricky part. I'm using my lever closed And in a flick out motion, I'm flicking out that bottom line, but notice how I'm using my corners and just that edge alone to flick out that bottom line piece. So I'm going edge to edge, just flicking out, and I'll even have to come behind it with the trimmers, being that I set it with the trimmers so harsh. I'm gonna have to take it out with the trimmers, but right now I'm just softening it up with that lever closed. So like I said, I have to come behind it with my liners and kind of just nitpick at the line. This is not necessarily, you know, taking out that line. It's just using every other, you know, just taking out every other hair. Right now, I'm just slapping on, doing some detail work with the lever open. And that's most important, is to look away from the blend, refresh your eyes, and just go back and start doing some detail work. So as far as the back, same concept, but just wider. I'm setting my bald line in an oval-like shape, and then I'm gonna do the same exact thing that I did on the sides. And yeah, I'm just gonna speed this part up. So right now, I'm gonna place a hot towel on my client's head for like 2 to 3 minutes. This is gonna get the hair to lay down. This is gonna dry out the scalp, dry out his lineup. So when you do line your client up, it gives it that crispy and that ash line that a lot of barbers want, you know, just to know that you're doing a crispy job. So this is a quick technique that I learned from Blenzino. I seen him do it. He did it on me when I got my haircut from him. So this is one of the techniques that I learned from Blenzino. So right now I'm just gonna blow dry in the direction that I want the hair to lay down in. Now after all that, this is a very important part of completing an actual haircut, is doing a freehand trim, knocking off those little hairs that's sticking up. This completes a haircut, makes the haircut look finished, makes the haircut look neat, and by just skipping over this part, man, it really does your haircut no justice after doing all that preparation. Then not to do a freehand trim to make everything look neat would be, I mean, it just wouldn't cap off the haircut. So this is how you actually finished a low haircut, is by doing a little freehand trim on top, knocking off all those loose hairs. YouTube, this is the cut, and if you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also, if you like the beat, HustleDreamProduction, that's my brother, he does all my beats. His YouTube channel will be linked in the description below. Otherwise, if you guys want to know where you can find any tools that you've seen in this video, links will be in the description below as well. You guys can follow me on Instagram at 360Jeezy. But it's your boy 360Jeezy, and I'm out of here. Chip.